refuse to give up my bedroom for my niece and nephew. I'm 19 and I'm currently living at home while I attend college full-time. My school is local, so staying with my parents saves a huge amount of money. I pay for my own tuition and cover some household expenses when I can. It's a practical setup, and one I've been grateful for, especially since my parents agreed I could live here through college, as long as I kept up with my responsibilities. I've always had my own bedroom. It's where I study, sleep, attend virtual classes, and take time for myself. A few months ago, my older sister moved back in with her 2 children, ages 5 and 3, after going through a divorce. She's been struggling financially and emotionally, and my parents offered her the guest room to help her get back on her feet. I completely understood the situation. She needed support, and my parents wanted to be there for her. Since she moved in, the house has been louder and more chaotic, but I've been trying to be helpful, watching the kids when asked, cleaning up, giving her space, and generally staying flexible. We live in a relatively small house. My parents have their room, I have mine, and there's a small guest room, which my sister now uses. With no other space available, her 2 children sleep in her room with her, and although cramped, that arrangement has been manageable for the time being. Recently, my parents approached me and said they wanted to rearrange the living situation. They felt it would be better for the kids to have their own room. Their proposed solution was for me to give up my bedroom, move into the living room or possibly the small shared office, and let the kids take over my space. My sister would remain in the guest room, while I'd be displaced entirely. They said it would create more stability for the children and help my sister manage bedtime routines more easily. I said no. I've lived in that room my entire life. It's the only private space I have, and I rely on it to manage my school schedule and workload. I'm in the middle of a heavy semester, balancing classes, projects, and work shifts. Studying in the living room or trying to sleep on a couch isn't realistic for me. The office is barely large enough for a desk and a filing cabinet. I wasn't refusing to be difficult. I just didn't think it was fair to be the only one making a sacrifice, especially when I didn't cause this situation. My sister was upset when she found out. She said her kids are uncomfortable sharing her bed, and that having their own space would help them adjust and settle into a routine. She thinks that since I'm older and don't have children, I should be more flexible. My parents were disappointed and told me they expected more understanding from me, especially toward my sister and her children. But the way I see it, I've already been understanding. I've put up with the increased noise, lack of privacy, and general disruption of my routines. I've helped care for the kids and never once complained about the stress their presence adds to the household. What I couldn't accept was the idea that I should pack up and live out of a shared space so that my niece and nephew could have a bedroom, while my sister continues using the guest room without any discussion of alternatives. There was no suggestion that she could move to the living room while the kids use her space. It was just assumed that I would give up mine. No one asked what I needed or if I could manage the change. No one acknowledged how this would impact my academics or mental well-being. It felt like my needs were invisible the moment my sister returned.